BioMagic, Episode 1. Before the world ended, I had friends, family, safety, home, a purpose. So that's not how most start their journals, is it? I'm only doing this to help with the loneliness. My mom suggested it a few months before, and it's been a few months, Mom, and I'm not writing about you. Sorry. But I will keep this unwritten journal rule for any survivor of the future porns as well. The world used to be messy, dominated by humans. Still messy. See anything preventing life? Probably oil or nuclear radiation. All from us. I wonder if we're the reason the world is in this state. Back before, we couldn't just tell a tree to grow or feed it with our bodies. Now I can make a hedge bloom into the shape of a dragon. I hope dragons do form in this world, even if they don't have fire. Anyways, what matters is that before you do shears, these big scissors to trim the hedge into a shape, you couldn't just talk to it. And it couldn't take a hold of your mind and twist you into fertilizer. Anyways, I just wanted to write down that taking care of this place is hard. I know it's just a target, but there are trees growing through the building. And the weeds, they keep appearing no matter how many times I remove them. Some would call me a druid, but I'm more like a gardener whose master is the trees. There's no bargaining, just pulling enough weeds for him to tell me when danger is nearby. The worst part is how lonely it can be without another human here. Sure, I can talk to the trees or dive my head deep enough into a rat to make it understand English. But it's not like a face-to-face human. But what am I going to do? Right? Talk to rats or complain to Sydney and Ralph? No, I'm gonna do my job, and I'll do it well. I'm gonna head up to Roof soon. It's always good to see him return home, even if they get annoyed at me for being up there. Kevin, 12 days after. Kevin, 17 days after. I forgot to have my name, and the day before was the first century. Sorry. Anyway, I wanted to write down my thoughts on this infection. Fungus? Parasite? It's in a tree, and no matter how hard I try to force it out, it just refuses to leave. I could feel it in there slowly growing, and it's really hard to talk to the forest when one of them is in pain. I need to dive deep enough into a tree to dig it out. If I do it with my hands, then I could risk all connections to the forest. It refuses to let me harm it, and all it does is take and take and take. Then tell me to help. And then it won't let me help because it's such an annoying little brat. I don't care if trees are ancient or all connected. It's being a bratty child. Like, at least I could do something. At least I complain to myself and I'm not so focused on growth that I cause this parasite to spread. My other method is going in with my mind and trying to extract decay. I am an expert at weaving things in, at fixing problems by healing them, or tightening around until they shrivel up and die. Those methods aren't going to work so well here. So, I tear in, body or mind. Do nothing. Can't fail now. Kevin, 19 days after. I told them, of course I would. Of course I couldn't handle it on my own. Sydney took an axe to a tree, and I have to work twice as hard to appease the forest. We identified the parasite as one of those weeds from a few miles south. They were being held back by a patch of prairie on the old highway. Either way, it means there's more seeds to handle. The forest refuses to even acknowledge the vine. How could such a flawless collection that notices when I don't bring it water, that sees all its roots, fail to notice another weed? How could it do such a thing, like try to kill me because Sydney helped it out? I don't have time to write, I need to clean up this stupid mess. Kevin, 23 days after. I feel that same decay within me. I told Sydney and Ralph, I told the forest, and now I'm telling you. I despise this feeling, this dread. And it claws and grows, and I know that complaining won't do anything, but I don't have the willpower to do something. All I do is do no thinking, no complaining, just pulling weeds, working out, practicing with a stupid spear, talking to these trees. You know, sometimes I even try to be creative. All I do is just do. Now I want to sit down and rest, let this manifestation of depression take over me. Kevin, 24 days after. I'm not explaining what happened to my parents and friends, but I will say that I was the only survivor. I was that Schrodinger's cat theory, where you're the cat and you always make it through because you have to survive, because you can't experience dying. Nobody's immortal, so it doesn't really like that. I can feel it in my blood. Well, I feel my blood. Sid and Ralph left to go find a medic, said that I was a risk and that I shouldn't exert myself. Well, I exerted myself. It keeps the growth at bay. Didn't even count the laps or push-ups. I just did them. Till I collapsed. That's when I realized it's in my lungs. And I'm weaker. And I'm failing. Kevin, 27 days after. They haven't returned yet. They said they wouldn't. Said it would be a few days. Wish I could draw it. I used to be good at art. No, I am good at art. Art is me. Art is where I was going. I can still paint a picture, still draw a stupid tree. Even these new ones. Just don't want to. It's a stupid depression. It's a stupid vine. Goes in and out, and you can tell when it's in, because those days I write more. I'm tired. Tired of failing them. Kevin, 28 days after. They came back. The book told me all it needed to. I cooked them dinner, and we ate and talked and had fun. We have 100 board games, 100 Lego sets. Felt empty. Wrong. All because of me. There's a rat nearby. I'm gonna try to remove the growth from myself and put it into the rat. Kind of like how I was trying to get it out of the tree. Okay. The rat died. The growth is stronger now. Like, somehow my exercise and removing it only fed it. Maybe I just poured too much energy into the rat, but I can feel it in my blood and I can feel my pulse. My resting heart rate is above average, about 70 right now. Normally it's 60 on the dot. Kevin, 28 days after. Today was somehow good. The forest told me someone was a mile away, which is a lot closer than when it normally alerts me. His name is Billy, 16. Apparently there's this giant tortoise weed thing. Forrest says he's telling the truth, but I really doubt it. Well, probably shouldn't. I'm afraid it's true, because if it's true, that means that one can, like, harvest energy directly from the land. Which means that I can do the reverse. I can take the vine and just transfer it out of me, right? I didn't feel my blood pulsing as much today. My heart rate was still 70, which screwed me up in poker. At least I'm not the only reason Sid and Ralph are staying near. But Billy's not really a failure. He's an opportunity. Friend. I am a friend who is failing, failing, and failing. Kevin. 37 days after. My veins and whatever the hell the red ones are called are showing. Bright, not bulging too much, they're just bigger. Sid finally tried to reach in with her mind, couldn't find anything because we're both human. Billy tried, Ralph didn't even try, but it's okay. What's worse is my ears were closed to the trees. They promised to stay with me, and were whispering that if everything was close, and I somehow didn't listen, and then I heard the bear my own ears, and then I heard the trees. Ralph's arm was nearly torn off, and he needed mending, and I couldn't do it. I have this skill to just weave mushrooms through flesh like some master stitcher, and I just can't. And if the vine was torn out of me, I don't know if I could. His arm's not all the way off, and hoping his immune system is strong, because I've done some work on him before. If he gets infected, though, we don't have much time. It's my fault, and I know it, and they know it. They're not talking much, and Ralph is still unconscious, and I just need to listen to the force. I need to stay alert. Kevin, 41 days after. Experiment notes 1. Trapping the cub was relatively easy. I may not be able to weave the trees, but I can force them to move themselves enough to cover a 6-foot deep hole. The cub is pierced from multiple upward roots. First, I will try to heal it, using the mushrooms from inside me. Requires a small cut just to directly transfer them. My apologies for any blood. Then I plan on transferring the vine into it. Don't know if I'll be capable of such a feat, especially if I need to weave the mushrooms into its mind so it can comply, but I need to try. I'm struggling to explain what happened. This vine is buried deep. It is a part of me now. I don't even know if there's a way to remove it. I think I just need something bigger. Need a tree. Or a bear. Or just like a wolf. Just anything. Anything. I tried to weave. The mushrooms were corrupted. Explains why the vines are impossible for Sydney to remove, but not really, because we're all human. I don't know how to remove the corruption from fungus. The mushrooms are in my mind. They help with talking to trees. They save me from the plagues. They're a part of my survival. They've weaved their ways into my brain and heart. My point is that removing the corruption could have the same effects as removing the entire mushroom. And I feel it slowly spreading deeper into my heart and up my neck. I likely only have a few days to remove it, but I need to try. I need to be able to heal. I need to be able to save them. I need to talk to this forest. Because if it sees me as a threat, it's too late. Can't fail at this. I won't fail this. Heaven, 44 days after. I explained my corruption to them. I sent myself into exile. The parasite wants me to feed it, to spread into the heart of the forest and into them. I won't let it. I'm not going to let everyone share in its misery. I will not share it. I will not let it grow. Experiment 2 notes. Trapping a rodent was difficult. I had to drive my mind deep into a single tree while avoiding the slow, crushing movements of the others. This forest is weak, slow, and easy to manipulate. I should just eat this thing. But it will be more useful to exercise my will in growing fruit than to eat it. I plan on trying to connect multiple things at once. Like how the forest is connected, but you can target a specific tree. I don't know what this will do to the mindscape, but hopefully the trees can help coax out the vines, and then I can gather them into this thing. Failed. Of course it failed. Of course it failed. Kevin, 49 days after. They need help. They need my help. I can't warn them, and I can't take this thing on alone in my corrupt state. Its mind is closed off through indirect means. If I wanted to attack it, I'd have to go up there and touch it. Whereas sometimes I could attack it through the trees. It's complicated, but it's not important. The vines are reaching up my neck now and probably into my brain. Still talk to the forest. Feels more human. Human's the wrong word. It's natural. Talking feels more natural. Kevin, 50 days after. Experiment 3 notes. How does one describe a parasite? Disgusting, filthy. I did what I had to in order to stop the thing. It's tied up and ready. The forest and I made a deal. If it takes the vine, then I get to go back. If not, then I'm gonna help the forest dry it of all its energy. The forest is very good at growing roots for water. I am the needle in the tunnel. I break away in. I look up what's left behind. Time to see if I leave human or if I'm just another parasite. Kevin, 51 days after. I don't feel the vines anymore. I only feel the mushrooms. Feel them pulse. It's like you can feel your heartbeat. The forest is stranger now. Talking uses less visuals, less emotions, more understanding. Supports me talking to everyone else. The point of offering me directions. I'm cured. I'm cured. I'm human. They'll be glad I'm back. They have to take me back. They'll understand. Surely they'll understand. They don't even have to know. They don't have to know about the journal, the cub, the thing, or this monstrosity right here. They don't have to know about the fire I'm starting. The vines that are shooting out of this bite. Kevin, 52 days after, how could she say that? What did she see in me that wasn't enough? There's still time to heal his arm, but she told me to leave, called me a monster. I should bring that whole store down on her. Show her how I handle real monsters. I'm not a monster. I'm not. I'm human. Still human. So the mushrooms, they curl out of me now, and they're starting to flower. And they'll help the forest grow. Surely they'll help the forest grow and bring us all together. All I ever wanted was to be together. Please. That's all I want. Owen here. Yes, there is a drawing on the back. Humanoid held up to trees by red vines. Very fun. Not many leads on Titans. I'm gonna see out who this Billy person is. Yeah.